What is good, boys and girls? I think I might have a so we'll see how well this goes. If this goes terrible, then we'll just have to try again later. So far, here's what I wanted to talk about. Many people are getting upset. They're getting upset because I'm calling Bitcoin a hoe. I'm calling Bitcoin pimp talk, trickeration, fakeness, fake gold. Now listen, there is technology in Bitcoin that is actually very, very, very powerful. It's very powerful. It's necessary. It will be a part of society soon. And if you know anything about Bitcoin, you know there's some technology there. Now here is what I'm trying to get to. Here's what I'm trying to get to so we can all be on the same page. When the herd moves, then it looks like gold. It looks like gold. When the herd moves, it looks like gold. Now, what happened when the herd moved last time? Last time when we had a recession, everybody jumped to gold. And CNBC talked about it nonstop every day. So everybody's out there jumping, buying gold and silver like it's going to save them. Okay? Now, same thing is happening here with this trickeration where everybody's like Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. They're talking about Bitcoin on TV. They're talking about Bitcoin on, internet and blogs. It's not that there is not power there. It is not that there is not value there. What I'm saying is it's fake gold because the herd is there. People who are in the know, people who are keeping up and investing, Bitcoin can be something powerful. But at the end of the day, it's like a pimp coming to a young person. Hey, girl, I can make you all this money. Girl, we can be riding around in a Cadillac. We can live in this nice apartment across town. You ain't got to live in the projects with your mama. You can come over here and live with me in this nice house. The girl falls for it, not realizing, hey, you're being pimped. You're being tricked. You are the hoe, right? And here's where I'm correlating. And I know that's rough conversation, but a lot of reasons those ladies don't leave that industry, whether it's sex work, whether it's being a stripper, whether it's whatever, is because $. So what you're telling them is, I can say yes in the comments. So just let me know. Okay. So here's another one. and where that comes, the comments go up so fast. I'm sorry. Let me see what you guys have. Hello. Do you have any Bitcoin? I actually do have Bitcoin. I went with my friend Andre Hatchett. We did $30. I did $30. She did more than me. I have precious metals. I have a lot of silver. I have a lot of gold. Oh, hold on. Space to Charles Ogilvie. It isn't tied to anything. It's based on artificial scarcity. Scarcity is the same. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Both are pimping people. They can be more than one pimp. Yeah, there's all kind of pimps. What I'm talking about with Bitcoin, when people get freaked out in the market. Now, you guys have, I don't know if you guys seen this channel enough to hear me. I'm always talking about what China is doing. China is constantly buying up every piece of land in Canada, United States, anywhere they can get their hands on. Why? Because they're trying to put their money somewhere safe. So same thing happens with Bitcoin, because if you're a guy or girl and you're working at Chili's making $12 an hour, you feel like you need to have some kind of where to put your money to be safe. But you aren't really reading, so you're not buying silver. You're not really reading, so you're not buying gold. You ain't really got the money, so you ain't buying real estate. You ain't got no investor friends to buy real estate with. So what do? Instead of buying stocks, instead of buying pieces of shares, instead of crowdfunding investment, you go buy Bitcoin. It makes you feel like you've done something, and you're gambling. You're like, you know what, Erica? I'm going to hit the jackpot. I'm about to ball out, Erica, because I got me some Bitcoin. And I just want to say sometimes, like, bro, baby, you ain't got no insurance. Your car is on 20% interest. You're living at your mom's. Like, there's so many categories where we could go work with you and start you there and get you back up in the right spot than worrying about some damn Bitcoin. Now, do I want you to buy Bitcoin? Sure. Take you $100 every week and buy you Bitcoin. I want you to be happy. I can't convince you to put $100 in stocks every week. I can't convince you to put $100 away for your own children's investments and life insurance, but you want some Bitcoin. Have at it. That's called trickeration. That's called gambling. You're trying to gamble on the fact that Bitcoin is going to hit, and you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to read. You didn't have to change who you were. This is the same shit that happens. Oh, excuse my language. This is the same thing that happens January to March every year, where everybody comes in the gym. Let me tell you, this happened early this year. I was in Gold's Gym earlier today, and everybody was on every machine. And I was like, is it lunch break time? What is happening? And almost everybody, I was like chit-chatting with, like, man, it's packed today. Oh, yeah, you know, trying to get in here before January. Why? Because they know all these people are going to come in here January, crowd up all the machines, January through March, mostly January through February, and then quit. Because they don't really want change. They just want to look like they're doing something. Now, you know, I've talked about this too before, where I see people tricking on Facebook showing their credit scores. And the only reason I showed that post of that credit score so I could do the video earlier about, yes, sometimes it doesn't take months. Sometimes it doesn't take years. It can take a week. But what happens is people fall in love with these stories of rags to riches. They fall in love with, you know, just the most random, right? So they fall in love with it. And so you have to go, am I investing this? Am I investing this money to make money, or am I investing because the crowd is investing, right? And I'll give you another example. Since somebody used, what did they use earlier? Oh, MLM system. Perfect example. I know two couples. One couple, they stuck with like that TLC skinny tea, and that shit drove me crazy, right? But they had already lost a lot of weight, and so they stuck with the skinny tea thing. And 3 years later, they're like some of the biggest names in the skinny tea that's left, because it's not really that popular anymore. But like, because they worked their way up so high, right? And because they kept hammering on the message 3 years in a row. The other couple I know make good money, but every 2 minutes they're jumping to something new. And that's kind of what I'm trying to pull you guys to. Like, Bitcoin is a shiny object, is what Remy said, but not just Bitcoin, it's your behavior. Does that make sense? Like, I've got people on my timeline, and I shit you not, they live at their grandma's house. They got 2 babies out of wedlock, and they're talking about Bitcoin. Don't even have a car, driving grandma's Cadillac, talking about Bitcoin. Now, I'm not knocking people who are actually selling education. They're teaching you. They actually have investments in companies that are investing in Bitcoin technology. That is a different level. There is a guy on our channel, Alvin Hollinger. I think he's where you see him investor meeting. He actually is taking it to the next level, more investment, deeper level. That's fine to me. That's like somebody telling me, hey, Erica, I'm investing in the concrete that we're going to buy across the street in concrete. You know, if there's a building going up across the street and you're saying, Erica, I'm going to invest in a concrete company. Okay, that makes sense. You're in the grinds. You're in the gear parts. You're not at the top saying, well, everybody's doing it, so I'm going to do it. It's a different mindset. That's 2 different things. So let me read some more out here. Charles Ogilvie. Well, before Bitcoin, start with the basics: emergency savings, max out retirement funds, debt outside of mortgage. See, you're too smart, Cosmic Wisdom. You stop talking that logic, okay? You know people want to get that trickeration. I mean, there's all these pictures on Instagram, and blame it on Black Twitter, or whatever, but they'll show pictures of people with beds on the floor. I've talked about this before. A bed on the floor, 20 Jordans on the side of the room. 20 Jordans. And I'm like, come on, bro. This is crazy. Like, you have a bed on the floor. Do you know how much the little frames cost to put the bed up off the floor? $70. $70. But you got 20 shoes over there. That's the trickeration, right? Because you look good on the outside. I used to give this example. It might still work. I don't know. I used to drive to Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama, actually Hoover, Alabama, and on my way to North Carolina. All the time, they playing Little John, and every time I drive by, they would have these beautiful cutlasses and beautiful cars on the side of the road broken down. Beautiful paint jobs, glitter, rims, nice, shining. And I'd be like, damn, what happened? And every time my friend that was riding with me for a lot of these trips, he was like, yeah, they ain't did nothing. They ain't did nothing but paint the outside, and it's still shitty on the inside. You know, it's still crap. You know, and when it comes to investing, yes, they're talking about it's boring. Erica, that's boring. You know, me throwing $25 every time I get a chance over to Lending Club is not sexy. You know, buying $20 silver coins, which are really like little thin bars, and I give them to my nephew. My poor nephew's always like, give me $20, right? And it's funny because that's a part of that mindset, right? When you're sitting here talking to him You know, you're sitting here talking to him about the importance of something. He's like, what is this? Silver bar. Now he's got a stack of silver bars because that's just how I roll. That's how Auntie does it. And he's proud of it because he knows it means something. He's older too at this point, and we can talk about what silver means. But I'm not knocking anybody's desire to do better. What I'm knocking is the lack of wanting to do any kind of contribute from inside, right? To do any kind of reading. I know several people right now who they hate the idea of Bitcoin, and they bought a bunch of Bitcoin and they don't talk about it. And like, what's funny is we're in these mastermind groups and we're talking, and they're like, yeah, I put $1,000 on Bitcoin. And it's like the saddest shit I've ever heard. Like, they sound totally sad. And I go, well, aren't you working on a flip right now? Aren't you flipping in Georgia right now? Yeah, I'm flipping in Georgia. Well, why you put the $1,000 on Bitcoin? Well, everybody's talking about it. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's not a rational decision. It's a emotional. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's getting a tattoo. You ever notice how everybody's getting a tattoo? That's the same thing with Bitcoin. So let me read over some more of what you guys talk about. Malik, Longhorn short and not Texas Roadhouse. What? Joking, but love the hair always. Glasses, thanks. They're in there. They're on the sides. I'm all about the dangle earrings. I'm all about it. Quick and easy. This is a vehicle, nothing more, just as Forex. Oh, that's a good point. Forex, a lot of people jumped on that. We're transitioning out of paper to digital. When it's all said and done, oh man, this thing is tripping. When it's all said and done, we'll have something that resembles. So yeah, I mean, listen. Prime example of where I'm going to go with this. Yes, is Bitcoin a part of the future? Sure. But we also have 3,000 other cryptocurrencies out there. 3,000. Bitcoin's just the name that you hear and know, and that's kind of how it works. Right? It goes off popularity, right? Like if you tell me, if CNBC posts tomorrow and says Amazon is taking Bitcoin, then all right, we'll have a whole nother discussion. I'll come back on here and say I'm wrong and I'm sorry. I've done it before in this channel. You can find all those videos where I'm like, I was wrong. You guys are right. My bad. But 9 times out of 10, I'm usually right. I read a lot of the books. I read a lot of the articles in the morning. I try to be ahead of the curve and not go wherever the crowd's going, but where are they not? Where are they not? When I started investing in lending clubs so long ago, people thought, that's crazy. Why would people give people money? That's crazy on the internet. Because it was a big FU to the banks. Because banks were not keeping up with what people's needs were. Consolidation loans, other types of loans, just period. Same thing with the real estate crowdfunding. It's a big FU to the banks. It's like, listen, we need more flexibility and quicker turnaround time in getting loans for construction, lines of credit, etc., etc. So you always want to be where the puck is moving, not where the puck is. And my thoughts on Bitcoin in that it's a lot of hoopla. Now we are going in the future towards a more digital world. But when I go to the flea market here in Austin, Texas, and all these Hispanic people have cash, I'm talking about so much cash is crazy, like dangerous, all 20s, all 100s. And then when I go to a Mexican restaurant here in Austin on one side of town that's a little funky, I went in there and they had a freaking armed guard walking the parking lot. And I literally was scared. And I said something to him about it. He's like, oh, it's okay, ma'am. I mean, and he wasn't just armed with a little gun. He had like 2 guns and a freaking big flashlight and an Afghani scarf. Like he going to Iraq tomorrow. I posted on Facebook. I talked about it. And it's because they have cash. That's a secondary market. People are underestimating how much these Hispanic and immigrant people deal in cash. They move cash like it ain't no joke. So yes, is Bitcoin coming? Yes, is digital coming? But why do you think they sell so many gift cards at the store still? Most people think gift cards will be over. No, there's Hispanic people running around with cash moolah. There's a bunch of little like Boost mobile stores, T-Mobile stores, little tiny stores that sell cell phones here. And people be like, why those are still up around? You can go to the mall or you can go to Best Buy. Because Hispanic and immigrant people are just dominating with pockets of cash. And people are in denial about it. That's a whole secondary market where millions of dollars are being made. Talk to real estate agents from San Antonio, Texas. They literally have to walk them to the bank and get money put certified, cash money orders. You know, they have to literally go with them to the bank because they will come to a closing in 2017 with cash. So look, I got it. I know you love the internet. I know you love YouTube. I know you love Bitcoin, but I'm just telling you, the brick and mortar stuff, the standard foundation is still true. Putting money into platforms. We did the video. You can go back a couple of videos where I put 79 different platforms you can put money in. Yes, we're going to digital, but it still has to come from where? Like, that cash is still out here in the economy. Yeah, you can throw it online, but it's still out here in the economy. So I'm gonna read some more of your comments and I'm gonna get off here. I didn't want to drag y'all out here forever. I was just talking to somebody at the gas station about Bitcoin. I was like, tricking. That's some damn good tricking they doing with that Bitcoin. Alvin Hollander, don't bet the farm on Bitcoin. It's an aggressive play, very volatile. However, the underlying technology, and yes, you need to study the market and develop systems around it. Tell sign of a bubble. Erica, I stopped my live stream video to jump on your channel. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to, get this video out here because y'all blowing me up in every comment section about Bitcoin. I'm like, y'all, I'm gonna bust y'all up. Okay. The big picture is around developing a system around blockchain. That's the word. Thank you. That's the word I was missing. Blockchain and cryptocurrency market. True, I'm going to buy a concrete plant and build 100 houses. Maurice, I'm not even joking. Here's the thing. I'm in Austin, Texas, and people are like, why did you start a painting company? Why did you start a light construction company? I'm like, honey, do you know they built like 7,000 houses just in one area? And a year or two from now, the fences are going to halfway fall down and going to be raggedy. And we just do fence repair sometimes. We don't even do the big stuff. We just do fence repair sometimes. And we do small projects around people's houses. Makes a ton of money. So anyway, I hold Bitcoin, but realize much of the gain is in cash and silver. I never leave everything in Bitcoin. Well, no, I mean, I'm not thinking that you do, but I saw that article and I was sharing it with everybody. I'm like, if you look in that family's background, they probably are very reckless, right? This dad has hair down to his back. He sold their whole house and all their belongings and threw it into Bitcoin and is traveling around the world. Now, will they have a beautiful story? The kids, when they grow up, our dad took us around the world, of course. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's some recklessness in that family. Now, even if let's say Bitcoin hits big numbers and mom and dad get $1 million, what are they going to do? They're going to pull all their money out of Bitcoin. They're going to cash it, right? So then they're going to be back at what? Square one. So, Jerome Powell, the next Fed chair, is already setting up to transition into this new country. He's already talking about regulations. Here's my deal. I would love to say, hey, what's up, Jay Madison? What's going on? Never pay debt, let it go into collections, then sue. Malik, come on now. Come on, Malik. Don't do that, Malik. You know what, Malik? I'm going to call you on that one. Malik said, never pay debt, let it go in collections, sue. There's actually a whole book from a white guy in California who put $1 million on credit cards, and then he wrote a book on how he basically only paid 25%. He let it all go to collections. Don't do that, though. That is funny because that white guy is like Ivy League and he knew that's what would happen. But it was funny. It's a book. It's actually a book. I'm trying to think of the name. But, okay, back to what he was saying about the next Fed chair. The next Fed chair, here's my thing that worries me. United States, we keep the dollar. There's a reason Gaddafi is dead. Now, no matter what you think of Gaddafi, if you go read about that country, you got people that got money and loans and gifts for college, and people were happy. They had blacks and Arabs living well. And when they want to talk about going on gold, Africa getting together and doing gold standard and not the dollar, woo! Same thing in China. China right now is getting a little bit of, hey, what's going on with this Bitcoin? But China's also getting that way too because they're doing capital controls because of all the people buying real estate over here. But that's a whole nother video. Let's not do that. Okay. Alvin Hollander, there will be a crackdown on a lot of non-SEC compliant cryptocurrency companies. That's very true. His company, Investor, I don't know how to say it right, will begin operating under those standards. Greetings, everyone, from Michelle, Michael, Teresa. Hi, everybody. Malik, Sue for what? CH. Charles, if people were using Bitcoin, not just investing in the ideal Bitcoin, I would be more sold on it as in the future. Oh, you know what I mean? That's my whole thing. It's like when you see people, okay, so the other day I went to Worst Fest in near San Marcos, New Braunfels or whatever, and I mean it was awesome. It was like a lot of it was drinking, German music, and fun. And every kid I looked around was dressed like Zach Morris. Now, take a minute. Zach Morris, Saved by the Bell. Does anybody know Saved by the Bell? Please tell me in the comments I'm not alone. Saved by the Bell, Zach Morris, 1990s, light color blue jeans, Zach Morris. Please tell me I'm not alone and just going random. The key here is it was a herd look. All the college students are doing the light color blue jeans and dressing up like it's 1995 again. I don't know why, but apparently it's in, right? Look at all the black people doing the box haircut, the men doing the box haircut, you know, bringing back these older styles. It is what people, the ideal of it. It's the ideal. It's the herd following ideal. And I'm really serious when I talk about the herd, not in an ugly way, but like that's what people are doing. They're in love with the ideal. It's not going to be in the future. It's just a trend. Now, is cryptocurrency in total a trend? No, I think cryptocurrency is here in the next 10 years, definitely. But right now, Bitcoin's a trend. When we were back in the 90s, .com times, massive gains, massive losses. Very true. Amazon's working. When I see Amazon in the news say it's accepting Bitcoin, then I'll come on here and I will personally say I was wrong. Peace, family. Yes, sister Ma. I'm messing your name up. We have 5 years max, cash, less being printed, more digital each year. Honey, Alvin, I'm telling you, I'm in Austin. These Mexicans, they gonna keep that cash going if it's just nobody but them. And the Asians too, over here in Chinatown. Chinatown has 3 banks. All 3 banks are in Chinese on the front. So, and they're I'll take pictures one day. All right. Yeah, exactly, Charles. If this happens. Peace and love and light. Everything is going to Bitcoin, though. Gas, food, PayPal, liquor. That's what we'd be suing. Oh, well, he was saying, essentially what he was talking about, which I don't want to get too off on a tangent, is sometimes people let their debts go into collection and then they just dispute and take things off their credit and get it off there and never pay it. And what I was saying is there was a book of a guy who did $1 million in credit cards and then let it go do that same process. Stop talking about Gaddafi in public. That is a private conversation. You know what? I made 2 comments and even my mom was like, shh, hush your mouth now. Hush your mouth. Don't talk about that man. So I'm going to keep on the low. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. There is no money. Everything is on credit. The U.S. is broke. Now, Moppy. Let me tell you. This is a house of shuffling cards and it has always been. But that is why, okay, same example. Moppy said there's no money. Everything is on credit. The U.S. is broke. Now, I'm going to give them an example. Texas. And people are going to get mad, but Texas is a big hat, no cattle. Now, what do I mean? If you come to actual Texas and talk to native Texans, them mofos is broke. Unless you talk to a family that owns land and they sold a piece of it and they did some other stuff, like they're broke. Like I know people who are 5th and 6th generation white Texans who don't own jack. They barely own the house they're in. They mom and daddy barely own the house they in a nowhere town in Texas. And they see all these people coming to Texas with money and they don't understand where is it coming from. Okay, so there's a lot of people in Texas on the struggle mission. I'm thinking of doing a live video, not right now, but later today, and talking about USDA loans and why they're so powerful and why certain groups of people have become so successful because they're moving out into rural areas, no money down on a house, and then driving in for work. So, but that's the same thing in Texas. If you think about Texas right now, Austin, Texas has 157 people moving here a day. Dallas has 293 moving a day. Houston used to have 500, but this is old numbers. We have to really like wait till I think March for Houston numbers, honestly, before we can kind of do an assessment of how many people move in their day. But think about that. If every single person moves here and they done sold everything, they done sold their house where they're from, they done sold their clothes, their extra TVs, their extra everything, and they came with cash, and they move in their new apartment, and they go to Best Buy and they buy a new TV, they go to the local furniture store and buy new furniture, they buy everything again, all new, to start their life over. Does it make Texas look strong? Of course, because it looks like money's being spent here. But that's what it is. That's the same thing about the United States. It looks safe. It looks strong. Let me tell you, if you go Google poor parts of Europe, blow your mind. I was telling my mom about wanting to go to Italy, this one particular part, and she was like, when I was there in the 80s, it was dangerous. It was unsafe. It was ghetto. And you can Google some places in like Naples, Italy is where I was going to fly into, And they will let you know on the national government website and the airport website, you will get robbed. You will get robbed. So, let me see here. Let's go. Interesting point, Mo. All that debt's paid to the dollar. Debt is currency killer. Yep, we're gonna not talk about Gaddafi. Remember, style becomes a uniform. Style becomes a uniform. Explain. Say that again, Michelle. Say it again for me. Philly, Bitcoin just means the end of acquired economic. Oh, no word. Listen, CJH. I'm sorry that I lost you, but we can do a whole nother video about collections and people suing and all that on another day. I'll never pay a mortgage. When you get a mortgage from the bank, you increase the money on the promissory note. Basically, your signature created the money. Well, here's the thing, Moppy. A lot of people right now, when they lose their jobs or something happens, they're in houses. Or they're renting rooms of their houses out. Or they're taking HELOC loans on their houses. It's the people who are in apartments who are getting straight stuck, getting put out, have no balance. You know, like, there's something to the fact that the savings, the average savings of a renter is less than $5,000, and that's everything. That's their 401k, that's their whole life. And the average of a homeowner is $175,000. Why? Yeah, some of that value is wrapped in the house, but also the 401k, more savings, more flexibility with their house. I'll just tell you right now, here in Austin, a lot of young people will get these 4-bedroom houses in Austin they're building and rent out 3 of the rooms and rent their car out Torino style and work from home. Torino.com. So, all right, let me see. I'm going to finish this up. I don't want to keep y'all here all day. I apologize. Let's see. I'll pay a mortgage compared to rents. Cosmic Wisdom. I'll pay my mortgage compared to rents I see around my area any day. Woo! Let me tell you. Cosmic Wisdom, for the people out in California, if you could talk to black people 20 years ago, they are crying in some of those areas. They wish they did. Same thing in New York. Herd mentality is human behavior. If your eyes are not open, you will just follow. I mean, I'm gonna give a little hint. Like, Walmart sent out a survey saying, if we pay you $20, will you get a flu shot? And people were answering yes. Think about that. Why would somebody be paying you to get a flu shot? Just saying. Just something to think about. Mo, that's a good... I'm not going to run into it, but I get what you're saying. Cosmic Wisdom. I bought pre-gentrification and rents are now crazy. Plus got 10 years, way low property tax, like $50 a month. There you go. Michelle, is it not true that once you hit a certain age, you will not qualify for a mortgage? No. Now, what happens is if you're 90 years old, I don't think they're going to give you a 30-year mortgage unless somebody else's name is on it. That's the that's the bank's discretion, I think. Okay. Well, anyway, you guys, that was what I was talking about today. Woo! You guys had a lot of questions. You guys had a lot of stuff. All I was trying to get you to is don't fall for the trickeration. Some of the old techniques, I know everybody's like, that's old techniques, Erica. And 5 years from now, there's one of the ladies, I can't remember her name. She used to come on the channel all the time. She finally listened and bought a condo in Houston. And her mortgage was like $352. And all these years, she's been paying thousands of dollars a month in Houston because it became so popular, the gentrification or whatever. Now, imagine if you was paying $352 for rent. I meant for your mortgage. And all the money you could throw off to the side. So, that's why when I talk about Lending Club, I talk about gold, I talk about silver. At the end of the day, if your table is unstable, if the only thing on your table is your job, your 401k, and some Bitcoin, that's not a strong table. Your table should have many things across it that pay you, or pay you slowly, or pay you dividend-wise, or pay you in the future. So, I'm finishing up some stuff. I'm not going to say it because anytime I name a book or a thing I'm working on, you're like, hurry up and finish it, Erica. And I don't like being rushed. So I will try to get on those projects and finish them up before Christmas. But anyway, you guys have been amazing. And you guys have been great. What you call it? Investor meeting says stay away from MLM anything. You know, honestly, with the MLM thing, very few people are salespeople. The rest are just buying crap, getting on your nerves. Always ready 24/7. If you stay away from crypto space, you will lose, guaranteed. Again, if you watch the beginning of this Always Ready, I said if you put a little bit of money in there, you can put a little bit of money in there, but you know, if you're going to throw $100 a month into crypto every week to cryptocurrency, are you putting $100 a month away to stocks, $100 a month to gold, silver, $100 a month to lending club, personal notes? Because that's really a wave of the future. I know we're trying to stay on focus here, but a wave of the future is that crowdfunding, where people are buying buying houses, buying businesses, doing all this stuff. I'm telling you, when I joined the investor group, there was a 70-year-old white lady said, you know what, back when I was in 35, I joined my first investor group. People have been doing things that are basic, but that are new to us, new to certain communities right now. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's like, don't miss the thing that's right in front of your face that makes sense. Trying to track the flashy stuff. So it's a remedy for every crush on a woman's heart. Okay. All right. So everybody, you've been great. I love y'all. Multiple streams. Yes, that's very correct. But like investing groups, investing, crowdfunding, that is literally a big chunk of the future. I know several people who are just dropping dollars into real estate crowdfunding sites and the site Rich Uncles. I don't know if you guys saw me talk about that, but Rich Uncles site. There's some good stuff out there. So, boom, you guys. Love ya. Tiffany Brown says no to MLM teach. I'm not gonna mess with y'all today. Y'all cutting up. All right, so I gotta get out of here. I'm at Target parking lot, about to get some Tarjay on. You guys, thanks so much.